If you were a glucose sensor, at some point you get handed a report that looks like a spreadsheet had a bad day. Letters like a GP and GMI, a wavy graph, a stack of percentages, and absolutely nobody explains what any of it means. So you nod, you file it away, and you miss the one number on the page that actually matters. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to walk you through that whole report, top to bottom, in plain English. By the end, you will read it faster and better than most people ever do, and you will know the single line to look at first. Start with that scary label, AGP. It stands for Ambulatory Glucose Profile, and the idea behind it is genuinely clever. Your sensor takes a reading every few minutes, all day, for a couple of weeks. That is thousands of numbers, way too many to read. So the report takes all of those days and stacks them on top of each other into one single, typical day, from midnight to midnight. Instead of 14 separate messy lines, you get one clean picture of what your blood sugar usually does over 24 hours. That is the whole trick. Many days folded into one. Now look at the graph itself. You will see a line down the middle with a shaded band around it, wider in some places, narrower in others. The middle line is where your glucose usually sits at each time of day. The shaded band around it is your spread, the range your readings scatter across. And this is the part people miss. A narrow band means your days are consistent and predictable. A wide band means you are bouncing around a lot, even if the middle line looks fine. So you're reading two things at once: where you usually are and how steady you are. Both matter. If you only look at one thing on the whole report, look at this: time and range. It is the percentage of your readings that landed inside your target band, which is commonly 70 to 180. In plain terms, it is the slice of your day, your blood sugar, spent where you want it. A widely cited goal is more than 70% of the day in range, with less than 4% of the day spent low. 70%, so about 17 hours out of every 24. This one number tells you more about your day-to-day control than almost anything else on the page, and it is the one most people walk right past. Next label, GMI. This one sounds technical, and it is actually simple. GMI is your glucose management indicator, and it is basically an estimated A1C, calculated from your sensor's average glucose. Remember, a real A1C is a blood test that estimates your 3-month average. GMI does the same kind of estimate, but from all that sensor data instead. Here is the useful part. If your GMI in your lab A1C disagree by a fair bit, that is not an error, it is a clue worth mentioning, because the two are measured in completely different ways. Think of GMI as your sensor's best guess at the A1C you are building. So here's how you read the whole thing in 30 seconds, in order. First, time and range. Are you above 70%? And is your low time under 4%? That is your headline. Second, glance at the shaded band. Is it tight, or is it wide and all over the place? That tells you how steady you are. Third, check where the middle line climbs the most, because that time of day, often after a particular meal or in the early morning, is your best clue about what to adjust. Time and range, then spread, then the biggest climb. 3 looks, and you have read the report. Now, most people only see this report a couple times a year in a clinic for about 10 seconds. But your sensor, or even a cheap meter, is collecting the raw data the whole time. So here's the honest part. Everything I just described, you can generate yourself for free from the file your monitor already exports. There is a tool link below that takes that export and builds this exact report in your browser in about 10 seconds, and your data never leaves your device. No card, no account. Read your own report before your next appointment. Walk in already knowing your time and range, and you will have a far better conversation. And remember, I teach you to read the numbers. Your doctor decides what they mean for you. Go see yours, and I will see you in the next one.